herbs. I could line in some caramelized onions or put a couple of sprigs of fresh basil or fresh thyme, and then go ahead and roast those off in the oven. The way that we roasted these off, it actually makes a difference. I did a test on this, and this is what I came up with. You can either put them in your pan, face down, and pop them into the oven, or you can put them into your pan, face up, and pop them into your oven. It's not an item that you need to cover with foil or anything. So what we did is 375 degrees for 45 minutes, I do believe, and then check with the fork. This is the difference that it made. The ones that were face down, that we cooked off like that, the steam when they were cooking all got trapped inside. So then the flesh of the squash was very soft. It was almost mushy, just because it had been steaming the same way it had been cooking. The ones that we cooked this way up, the steam had been able to release as it was cooking, in which case the flesh of the squash was a lot firmer. The ones that we're eating tonight, we cooked it this way up. So that when we take it with a fork, it breaks apart a little bit, but it still holds some shape. I still wanted your squash to have a little bit of texture, because we're serving a liquidy sauce on top of that. It's got enough moisture with the cheese and everything else. It's called spaghetti squash, because we wanted to mimic the effect of spaghetti noodles. To me, I felt if I cooked it that way and I roasted off, I wouldn't have that effect. However, let's say that I was taking a butternut squash and my intention was to turn it into butternut squash soup. Or if I was doing some red curry squash and I was going to make pumpkin pies. Or I was going to do an application where I needed to puree the squash and I wanted it to be very smooth. If I was making a fresh baby food or something like that, then I would want to make sure that I roasted my squash that side down so that the flesh of the squash comes out that much more mushy, more pureeable, if that makes sense to you on that one. If you will allow me to backtrack for